era begins now. It's the coach. This is week 1 of the NFL on EA Sports. Tonight, it's number 3 overall pick, Sam Darnold, who gets a start on opening night as his Jets get set for a tough one on the road against the Detroit Lions. I'll talk to you again at halftime with a look back at games from yesterday. But first, it's up to Ford Field. Standing by, here are Brandon Gotton and Charles Davis.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Both teams emerging from the Ford Field tunnels just a short time ago. And, of course, the loudest cheers were reserved for the hometown Lions. They're set to go as they will match up with the New York Jets. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gotton. And, Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. And I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They pass the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jets, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet. And both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
No more training camp, no more exhibitions. The 2018 NFL season on EA Sports is underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
All right, here we go. 21. Set. 280.
On first down, it's Stafford. Underneath for Johnson. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll bring up a second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Here's Stafford now on second down. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give some type of pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Set. Go 20.
To the air again, Stafford. He'll find a man over the middle. It's Galladay. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too.
Personal foul.
And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march up another 15 against your squad.
Broken tackle. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tucker roll that they can fall back on anymore.
The first carry now. This is Johnson. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and makes creases like they were able to exploit right there.
He's got it. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Well, he did everything but get him in the end zone there, but now they're set up golden opportunity. Strong opening drive, and they're knocking on the door.
And the way that they did it, now look where they are on the field. All right, this is naturally set up for a running play, isn't it? But with his ability to throw the football, his accuracy on this drive, you might want to think about a pass play in this situation.
Interesting. Time to find out. Second and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line.
Hey, tag 50 left. Set. 250.
A shotgun snap for Stafford. And he has his receiver. That's Jones. Lions touchdown. Marvin Jones, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Lions are going to take a first-quarter lead. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the fourth quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their own 27. On first down, it's Darnold. Buying time to his left. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards is the pickup, good enough for a Jet first down.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
They go play action here on first down. Herndon's got it complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Now as we look down, it appears we've got a Jet shaking up on the play. Boy, not what you want to see in quarter 1 of the new year. We'll be back. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. A give to Bell. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big third down play.
And he fires one, but incomplete.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
Now Edwards to kick as he sends it away. And this will be covered up. Pretty good result. It'll be down at the 14-yard line. The Lions heading out, coming off a 9-7 finish a season ago. Another year without a playoff victory. And we said it last season, Charles. Unbelievable. They've won only 1 playoff game since the 1957 NFL championship game back when you were in high school.
Not junior high.
And that into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. The Jets making their way out. Last year, the impressive 3-2 start. A lot of people predicted they would go 0-16, but then after that start, they sort of collapsed. Just 2 wins after week 5. So as we look ahead to this year, Charles, what can we expect from the Jets?
Well, I would expect them to continue to play with great effort because their head coach, Todd Bowles, demands that. But Sam Darnold, their #1 draft choice, he will be the key to their season. The faster that he plays well, the better the Jets obviously are going to be. And on defense, last in the league in pass rush last year, last in the league in sacks. They'll have to do that by committee this year and find ways to get pressure on the quarterback.
Going to throw right side here, complete. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, Makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Darnold from the red zone now. Flushed out right. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down. And as a first-rounder, a lot of eyes on him, a lot of expectations.
And he has to play well in his rookie year. Those days of coddling guys and bringing them along slowly, those days are long gone. When you're drafted in the first round, they expect you to play right away. And the community's eyes and fan base, they'll be on you the entire way.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very...
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll try and run it in with Bell. Into a mass of bodies, and I think they held him out. They did. No gain on the play, and it's going to be second and goal. So stuff from the 2, now what?
You know me pretty well. What do you think I want here?
And he is in. Touchdown, New York. A great effort there. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Jets are an extra point away from tying this thing up.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes Matthew Stafford now to lead his offense back out there. And it was his interception on the last drive that wound up leading to a game-tying touchdown.
And somehow you can make this a positive, though. You know why? Game tied now. So you're not protecting the lead. So you're not playing that way. You got to go get the lead again. So maybe it loosens him up a little bit and allows him to go ahead and be a little more free in his play. Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
On second down, Johnson. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They'll fake it. Now Stafford. And Amendola with a catch. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one will go down as 33 yards on the third down conversion.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
A first down carry here for Johnson. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. And a solid run down inside the 30. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Now Stafford. It's caught. Jones. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Stafford to Jones, enough for a Lion first down. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it in, throw it. go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Stafford on third down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after him. Put the pressure.
And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Jordan Jenkins in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. And time to remind you that coming up at halftime, we're off to see the coach, Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have a look back at a wild opening weekend in the NFL.
It's good to have Coach along for the ride this year, although he would probably say it's good for him to have us along for his ride.
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Now here's a timeout defensively. Defensive timeout called by the Jets. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
This offense trots back out there now, and as they do, Charles, one thing to point out that we saw a second ago are some of the new rules in the NFL this year regarding kickoffs.
Yeah, nowadays, the kickoff team, no more running starts. Remember that when you kind of circle a guy around and here he goes? No more. You have to start, close to the ball. And when it's kicked, then you get to take off and go, so you can't build up your speed that way. Also, when you're returning it, remember those wedges that we used to say where guys would form together, 2 or 3 guys? No more of those. So it'd be a lot more man-on-man, one-on-one blocking. And also, they have rules about where people have to be when the ball's kicked, where they have to be when the ball's caught. So to me, it's much more like a punt return than it is an actual kickoff return. So I'm eager to see if teams now take their punt returners, those nifty guys who make people miss in the open field, and make them the kickoff returners as well, because I think you can still get big plays in this area if you have the right people back there.
And they'll get him down here at the 23. And we're going to get another timeout called by the Lions, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Fielded at the 20. Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and the Lions will take over. So here come the Lions now. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point kicker. Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that.
Bashed it.
Super toe.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, there in coverage.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Just a couple there on the second down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Here's Darnold. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And they'll get to this and touch it. Looks like, yeah, right at the 15-yard line here. The clock showing just 16 seconds till the half as they line up 1st and 10. They begin the drive with Johnson. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. So we reach halftime here at our first Monday Nighter of the season. As we'll check in for the first time with the newest member of our Madden family, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin up at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. The Ravens with an ideal start as they move to 1-0 in front of their home faithful. From there, we head all the way out west to see what's happening with the LA Chargers. And they were losers in that game as they fall to the visiting Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs with the best possible start to their season, a road victory in the opener. Finally, let's get to Philadelphia. Check on the Eagles at home at Lincoln Financial Field. And they were victorious in that one over the visiting Atlanta Falcons. The Eagles with a strong performance as they get the win at home in the opener. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these 2 teams as we come back for this second half. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now out come the Jets. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. They'll go again with Bell. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
A first down throw, Darnold. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Anunwa, the intended target, and that'll bring up second down.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
Flush to his right. Got his man, Robbie Anderson. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion. I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
He will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on fourth.
Yeah, on 4th and inches, you've got to be quick with your decision-making when you're running the football. You've got to find the hole and go. And he does a nice job here picking up the first down with a few yards to spare.
Darnold now to throw. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. Call it a gain of 3. And it's a second down. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call, because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Sometimes it seems like a tough world out there. Many thought Sam Darnold would go #1 overall to the Browns, and he fell to #3 to the New York Jets. I think he fell to a great situation. He gets to go to New York with a rebuilding team, take over the job right then and there. And while many were expecting Broadway Baker Mayfield, instead they got sudden Sam Darnold, and I think the Jets fans are going to be very happy to have him.
Detroit! Detroit!
Here's Darnold now on second down. Goes underneath for Bell. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. They'll roll him out right. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
On second down, it's Bell. After the broken tackle, couldn't get free for much space, taken down right at the 10. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
From the gun on 3rd down, here's Darnold. Hard throw, incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to... Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football.
Please tell me this doesn't come off as snarky. But that's a relative chip shot. I mean, you've got to be able to execute that one. I don't care what they design on the other side about trying to block the kick. That should be 3 points on the board.
Yeah, we've talked about it before. If you're out at 55, 60 yards, low trajectory from here, you get that thing up. This should be 3.
Yeah, there's nothing routine in football, but this one really almost should be. Snap, hold, kick, ball through the post. Didn't happen that way.
Ready? Set. 180.
Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the Lions linemen might have moved.
False start, offense.
Expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
To throw on second down is Stafford. And incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Third and long, it's Stafford. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jordan Jenkins in there to drop him for his second sack now here tonight.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll try and get the running game going with Bell. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 17 yards for the Jets there as they've got themselves a 1st down.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart.
And he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. On 2nd down, Darnold. This one caught by Crowder. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Back now at Ford Field. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. To throw is Darnold. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well.
Foul.
I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
After the penalty, it's Bell. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now.
Well, the spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't he?
But credit the defense, bottling him up, not letting him get in for the 2nd score there. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he is not going to get in as the big bodies stop him at the 1. They're held again, and do we have a goal line stand brewing? It's 3rd and goal. So here we go on a 3rd and goal. This Lions defense, they haven't broken yet. They'll go with a keeper. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Sam Darnold with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Jets have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter.
Partner, that was simply an example of getting low, wasn't it?
It was indeed. And for the quarterback, so they get low the line. They did their job. Is the quarterback's job just to find a crease and dive?
Find a crease and just get in there. And ordinarily, you start low yourself, get low behind that offensive line. But sometimes they do such a great job, you can almost fall forward and find the crease for a touchdown.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. From the gun, here's Stafford. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one goes for 36 yards.
Here we go, here we go.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Theo Riddick, 39 yards. And the Lions have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Hey, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, wherever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. New York set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Wide open receiver complete. He got 29 yards that time. Some pretty good games all weekend. We may have saved the best for last. This Monday night game has been a dandy. On first down, Darnold. That's complete over the middle to Anderson. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
On first and 10, Darnold. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Back to throw, Darnold. Steps away to his left. Oh, no, he lost the football.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
They'll try and run for it with Bell. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
I was used to joke with my teammates who carried the ball a lot. When we got in these situations and they were carrying us home, I used to tell them, boy, you guys just look like Paul Bunyan, just growing stronger, bigger, tougher. And all night long, he's carried this team.
He has indeed. Everything back. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Oh, free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
Eluding the pressure right. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain.
Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on second down.
On the catch, it's Crowder. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Now Bell. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. And they're knocking on the door. 2nd and goal now in a 1-score game. He'll get it up the middle. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? They'll run it now out of the gun. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. He had his lone attempt blocked earlier. And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And we are all tied here in the final stages. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the 4th quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Yeah, he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 15 yards is the pick up there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down. Stafford now to throw. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
In a 2-minute drill, we often talk about taking care of the football, but sometimes it's just a matter of who wants it more. How about him going up top on a 50-50 ball and taking it away for a big play?
Now a handoff. Johnson. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They go to Johnson again. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. Leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
The Lions had the fewest 3rd down conversions on the ground in the NFL in 2017. What will they do here on 3rd and short? Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the Lions linemen might have moved.
False start, offense.
Now they nabbed the rookie there for the 5-yard penalty.
So much going through his head. You know it just has to be, right? All of his assignments and realizing every game he plays, one of the better players in the league will be opposite him.
Following the penalty, it's Johnson. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to take the lead here in the final minute. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that, because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. And he did exactly what they needed him to do, Charles. Got out of bounds. They have no timeouts.
And they knew that before the play even began. Still executed it. How many times have we seen it happen where you know it, get a guy still looking for a timeout or trying to stay in bounds? He got it done.
And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Give him 30 yards there. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, So special every year, week one. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for the Lions, it wasn't always pretty, but they do eke out the week one victory here by a field goal. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the San Francisco 49ers. Meanwhile, for the Jets, they obviously